Hello everyone and welcome back to Planet Zoo. It's your camel again, and today with the next episode of the diorama builds. Yes, we are already in the 4th episode, and this today is going to be the Crocodile Swamp, and at least from the reactions in the live stream, this is my best one yet. At least that's what people said, and I gotta say it really looks stunning in the finished result, and it works better than I expected. Anyways, if you guys are new here and you are interested in creative builds in Planet Zoo, Planet Coaster, City Skylines, and upcoming Jurassic World Evolution stuff and so on and so forth, I highly recommend subscribing to the channel if you don't want to miss out on that. I'm going to dive and go very deep into it in the future. However, this is a build today which really focuses on a swampy little diorama. In case the concept of diorama is new to you, I do actually recommend to check it out on YouTube and in the interwebs as well. It's basically a little cutoff of a miniature world, if you want. So the idea is as if you would take a piece of cake out of a big cake, and this one piece of cake is basically resembling the entirety of the cake, if that makes sense for you as an example. And so today we are going to make a little cutoff from a swampy area in which crocodiles are going to roam around. They will be able to deep dive, they will be able to, you know, just chill in the shallow waters and stuff. And since we were funny enough and had some time left at the end, we will also have lemurs running around in there. It's kind of a nice little contrast between the swampy big creatures down there in the water, and then the very lightweight funky little monkeys you know, climbing up and down in this area. However, you know, this one in particular was very fun because we built that on the live stream. In case you guys want to check me out on Twitch as well, the link is always in the description, and I would love to say I'm streaming on a regular basis. At the moment it's kind of hard to find the suitable day, but at least I'm trying to stream once a week. Easiest is just follow me over there, or just follow me on here, like subscribe to the channel. I will always notify you guys when I'm going live, or you could just join my gilded server, then you won't certainly miss out on that one, because I'm always putting like a direct message in there that I'm going to be live. So if you want to see that one, we are featuring at the moment a lot of Planet Zoo, a lot of diorama builds, but I will also go back to Planet Coaster a little bit, and we will also go definitely into Jurassic World Evolution 2, as well as Prehistoric Kingdom Beta as soon as that one is out. I'm really hoping for a release rather soon, and yeah, all of that will be covered as well on the channel. So enough of that stuff, let's talk about the swamp over here. Many people have been commenting in the last couple of episodes that they wanted to have something with a lot of water, and there you go, water. There was a little cut in here. I actually have some cuts in the video because I forgot to record. I thought about integrating the stream footage, but then again there is like camera and everything on it, and I just didn't want to. So in case you want to see the full result, you'll have to wait for the real-time part anyways at the end of the video. But this habitat, or this diorama, is really featuring on the contrast between the very overgrown jungle area and the very deep, like a little swampy water area. And it was quite a challenge because of the way Planet Zoo works with the diving mechanic. I mean, I have complained about that enough, so I don't need to integrate that here too much, but it is always a challenge to make animals dive because they need such a ridiculous amount of space in the water volume to be able to dive. And the challenge was to still make that diorama look somewhat interesting and sizable in relation to what is in there, and just kind of again make this illusion work that this is a bigger area than it actually is. So in case you guys haven't been in the last episodes, where have you been? If you haven't been there, make sure to check the info bubble to the top right, and you can watch the other 3 episodes already existing of the dioramas. But the idea behind these dioramas is to create a miniature world which is using a lot of smaller variants of their real-life counterparts, as in palm trees and rocks and stuff, to make it seem bigger than it actually is. So as you can see over here, this looks to be very overgrown, as if there's like a huge little rock in the middle and huge trees and stuff, but in fact these are all the smallest available trees we have, and I'm just going to utilize these pieces in order to make it appear bigger than it actually is. And this is the whole idea about the dioramas. And if you do this, there is a obvious reason why the deep swim is just even more complicated now. Not only that 4x4x4 meters is already pretty ridiculously big, no, if you are going to make things look smaller than they actually are, it would mean that in comparison or in relation, the 4x4x4 seems even bigger than it already is. So it's kind of a double challenge. And the only way I could think of it is really a little bit of a trick I used at the end, you will see, by placing down some objects to create a false perspective of this, and yeah, then just allow it to be deep, I guess. that's the only chance we had. Again, I would have loved to have it more shallow, but I, on the other hand side, would still love to have them diving. It's kind of a trade-off you have to go and take, otherwise it's just not working. You could always go in and just leave them swimming on the surface, but I don't know, it takes so much away, I guess, from the animals. The fact that they can dive has to be utilized, and so that's the main reason why I'm opting for giving them the space they need rather than going for the pure aesthetics here. Anyways, that's just a little explanation why things are the way they are. I think one thing you can really tell already, and I always find this super interesting in these speed builds, we are nearly halfway through the recording now for this speed build, and you can see it almost looks very finished in a way, but it's so far away from how it looks in the end. And it's always the same. Once you have put down the basic concept and everything comes together, the detailing is really what makes the thing then pop in the end. And it's fun how much of a change this gives in terms of how it feels and looks in the end, despite the fact it's only half the footage, It's like really like 50% of the time you always spend making sure that the concept works, that the overall dimensions are correct, that, everything in relation works fine together. And then the other 50% is basically detailing and throwing in stuff and just giving it the final touch. And yeah, I'm really, really happy about this result. And I'm also very curious to hear your opinion. As always, to help me out, to support me if you like the content, the easiest thing, to support me is by giving feedback into the comments, hitting the like button, or if you dislike the video, which is totally fine because, not everyone loves the same stuff. You can obviously also hit the thumbs down button if you need that to do, but please, if so, let me know in the comments down below what you think I could improve, because that's the only way to make me improve my game. Ha 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 ha. Sorry for that pun. But anyways, if you have any kind of constructive criticism, let me know in the comments down below. And also big thanks goes out to Mr. Kane and I last time mentioned that I said it's a pinnacle in the eye, which seems a very legit German translation and does not really work in English. So it's basically an eyesore. And speaking of which, we're going to basically get rid of one of the eyesores, and that is this left pillar here on the water volume. You can just see it in the middle of the screen right now. There is still this one pillar, and it would have been so much more nice to have like a flat surface on that wall, on the glass wall, which we are going to change towards the end of the speed build. But yeah, thank you so much, Kane. And again, just as a little lovely hint, there you go. This is, by the way, making the change work. Again, I know that my English isn't perfect, but I am here to improve upon that as well. And so whenever you hear something, or whether it's pronunciation related or it is content or like grammar wise, it's always helpful to put in the comments down below. Obviously, I can't really use everything because I basically forget, but most of the things I just try to implement and improve my overall talking skill and making the commentary more enjoyable for you, and all these kind of things together hopefully make for a better experience. And that's why I always need the feedback, and it's totally fine if you don't comment in each and every episode, but if there's anything you have to say, make sure to drop it down. It just really helps me a lot in terms of improving, but it obviously also helps the algorithm to understand that this video is appreciated by people, and this is by the way how YouTube works, so yeah, that would be very much appreciated. So yeah, this is the diorama as it stands right now, and this is the last diorama that is, I don't want to say normal because normal would play that down. which is close to real life. Let's put it that way. The next diorama will explore a little bit more of a fantasy theme. So if you are interested in that, make sure to stick with me on this channel and keep your eyes on the channel. I am trying to get this done for Saturday. I am not 100% sure of it because it's gonna be a little bit of a different approach and I have to test some things. There are a couple of things which very much game related do not work yet. It's mostly at this point in time, I really have no clue how to make the habitat boundaries work. It's a little bit complicated to really draw the boundaries. Honestly, I have an idea how it could work, but yeah. I think I know how, but it's actually very fiddly, and I have to see how I do that. But anyways, just as a little hint for what is coming, I have to say it looks really, really cool. It's very fantasy. It draws some inspiration from a mobile game. In case if you guys are familiar with mobile games, I'm very curious if you guys can guess it. So it's going to be a fantasy style, and it's very much related to a mobile game that had a huge success. I would say 2 or 3 years ago. Yeah, I think that's where it is. If you have an idea, let me know in the comments down below, and we see next time if you guys were correct, which game the inspiration is from. I can only tell as another hint that this game I was talking about is not really featuring an animal. It's about something else. So just as a little hint, but I will try to reframe that with an animal. That's the basic idea. But again, I'm really curious to hear if you guys have an idea. It's a very vague information, or vague, I should say. So yeah, but we are now into the finishing touches here of the speed build, but there are a couple of things I did after recording because that was on a live stream, and as you know, whenever I say I stop the live stream, you can expect the live stream to at least go longer for like half an hour or so because I won't stop. That's just things how they are. But anyways, you can really tell how these things are developing over here. I'm again very happy with how certain things turned out to be. As you can see over here, using these mossy rocks in between the 4 rock cobble pieces looked fantastic. And someone in the chat said this is not allowed to look that good. This combination is not allowed to look that good. I couldn't agree more. I have no idea why this works together so well, but it certainly does. And you know, who am I to complain about that, right? It's just looking very nice. And yeah, just last bits of kind of doing a little bit of detailing here and there. It's just what you need to do. Anyhow, that's about it for my commentary of the speed build. I will see you in a couple of seconds in the real-time part. So until then, don't click away just yet. We will have a look how this looks actually in game. So I see you after the cut. And here we are in the real-time part. While there was a box on top of this. Oh my god. We start with the funny bit here again. Anyhow, this is the finished diorama, and oh boy, look at it. Just look at it. I am so freaking happy with how that turned out. I mean, just the detail on it looks cool. I really think the water volume this way adds a lot to the feel of a diorama with it being like super cut off like this over here. You can see the crocodile going down here for a little divey dive. Oh, actually, is it going down for a dive or not? Oh, it is. I never thought that they are like moving so close to the surface but then being completely underwater. That's like a very typical croc behavior. Oh, I love that. This is really cool though, and I love how this works over here. Like, you know, this is exactly how you would imagine a crocodile being in the waters. You know, oh my god, let's just look at this. How it's like swimming through here. I mean, you know, if Frontier would push that like one step further, having these things react to the animals, like move away, that would look like even more fantastic. But you know, I totally get why you wouldn't do that. It's kind of, you know, performance-wise, that would be ridiculous. Like, really ridiculous. But look at this. I mean, it just turned out to be looking so cool. Also, why is it not going underwater? Is it so clear? No, there you go. That was like a little mistake. Just look at that. And this is, by the way, this is what I meant. Look how how lost this animal looks in this ridiculously big volume of water. It is like by far too big, but I needed to use this quite sizable area to make sure that they can deep dive here, and you know, making that work. But as you can still see, these plants and stuff, they are way smaller than they should be in relation to real life. So as you can see, this crocodile in comparison to these tall trees, like usually these trees need to be double the size. Let me just show you what I mean. You will be, I think the fun part, if you deliver this, the next thing should shock you. Okay, so I'm going to show you. We are going to go for, it doesn't really matter. Let's go for biome, and we say aquatic and tropical, and we just get rid of the blueprints. And I'm going to go for a normal swampy tree. Let's say the Brazil nut tree, which is a normal kind of swamp tree from Brazil, you know, from South America. So let's just select that one. Look at that. It's just like one tree is bigger than the entire thing. Like if I place that one down, you can actually now get a feeling of the size of this thing. And what I did, as you can see with this thing, and I think it worked pretty well, I recreated a Brazil nut tree out of other things and made this just like a lot smaller, because the smallest version of it is that one, is still like ridiculously big. So if I drag that down and put that here, it just doesn't really work the exact same way. So it also has that like super big trunk, and so I wanted to keep some space here so that they can roam around, and I made this custom version. But yeah, so I mean this is some things you need to always consider making these dioramas, to play a little bit with perspective. And you know, I'm just putting a lot of things in to make sure that the perspective is doing what it should do, like having a little bit of a different height elements. And especially here with the lemurs, you can see that they don't look as small as you would expect them to. Why do I even have that? There is still a little bit of boxing going on, because technically they can escape, like theoretically they could escape, as you can see over here, and this is why they are boxed, but I don't really pay that much attention to it. So yeah, this is how the habitat, or the diorama, I should say, looks in the end. And boy, we can have like so many nice views of it. I wish, you know, at some point I need to just get rid of the stuff in the back, so to just see it from all angles. But the problem is, I think the animals will not stay in there. I think if I would get rid of the path and stuff, I think the animals would not stay in there. So that is potentially one of the biggest issues I have to make this, because I really want to have like a full circle rotation around this, like make like a huge box of a showcase thing, and then just have like a panoramic thing going around, like a camera pan going around, like as if I do it like this. Wait, I'm just gonna do it that way, and then just like pan it around like so. Way smaller, way slower, by the way. But then I think that could look really cool if you do that. But at this point, I can only do it that way. Also, fun bit, by the way. Look at how it looks below. All the trees sticking through. So again, it is just like an art project, and you have to look at it from this angle. There's like no way around this. You have to look at it at this angle, because that's just how it's planned. You know, this is just how it is. Anyhow, so let's end this here. I'm just gonna zoom out a tiny bit so we can have the full version to look at. There you go. So I really hope you guys enjoyed today's episode of the next swampy diorama. Again, if you guys are in for dioramas and you want to see more, put your ideas in the comments down below. I might drag some inspiration from that. But as I said, the next one is going to be a bit more fantasy related. So if you have some good guesses, put them down in the comments down below. And if there will be some correct ones, I will include them as a little screenshot in the next episode. Anyhow, have a good time. Thank you so much for watching, and stay safe, everyone. I talk to you in the next one. Goodbye.